There's some on the cut. Now can you smell it? You smell the quality, though.
Meet Brian Keating. Yes, he's probably best known as the outspoken mayor of Marystown, but he's also chief executive officer here at Argentia Gold. He's literally the face of the business. But this cannabis is not for sale. It's all that's left of a $16 million Placentia Bay gamble that's gone up in smoke.
$1 million security system.
This was a state-of-the-art grow-op located inside a fortress-like building built to wartime standards at the port of Argentia. Some big names attached to this place, proof that there were high hopes for this business.
It was a gold, but it was a bust.
But now these 180 cameras keep a watchful eye over a lot of nothingness. Empty hallways, lunchrooms, change rooms.
So basically this room would have hundreds of thousands of seeds in here, which made little sprouts.
And once flourishing grow rooms are now empty shells.
The echoes are deafening.
Argentia Gold stopped production in January. Nearly 24 jobs gone, along with the millions invested by a deep-pocketed Florida businessman named Bill Higgs.
He wanted this business to grow and probably have 100 employees, but now he feels bad for every employee that he let go.
The much-hyped cannabis cash cow has fizzled, and what was supposed to be a golden crop has turned into a major flop for producers like Argentia Gold. But the gold standard for cannabis failures in this province? This $100 million plant in St. John's. Canopy Growth pulled the plug on it a few years ago before it produced a single kilogram. So what went wrong?
Job done.
Investors eagerly poured billions into this industry in the lead-up to legalization. And there are now hundreds of producers across Canada. So the market is saturated and slumping badly. 6 years ago, a gram of cannabis was selling for about $10. Now it's $2 or $3. Licensed producers also have to deal with tough tax and regulatory burdens. The federal excise tax, for example, is about $1 on a gram of cannabis. The black market is still a factor, and consumers can also grow 4 cannabis plants in their homes to meet their own needs. It's not the business model many had envisioned, so a painful contraction is underway. Producers like Argentia Gold are going out of business at a rapid rate, and they're losing millions along the way.
It's one of the most scrutinized, regulated industries in the world, and one of the higher tax royalties in the industry. If we were growing corn here or Brian Peckford's cucumbers, we wouldn't be taxed half so much.
But Keating admits they made mistakes.
I guess the best thing to say is that the due diligence on running a facility like this was probably not totally researched.
The Argentia Gold flameout leaves just 2 cannabis producers standing in the province, Oceanic Relief in Burin and Atlantic Cultivation in St. John's. Both are hanging on. And this company just recently started turning a profit with a workforce of more than 200.
We're building a 100-year company. We're not depending on excise tax reform.
Crosby believes this factory has a future because of something called vertical integration. Newfoundland and Labrador is one of the few provinces that allows the consolidation of multiple stages of the supply chain, from cannabis grow-ops to retail sales. Atlantic Cultivation and Oceanic Relief are making full use of this business approach, with both producers also operating a chain of retail stores.
We're in a unique position where we really lean on that vertical integration, and we corrected the business to be able to survive within Newfoundland and got the cash flow positivity by taking up as much of the menu as we can. And we have a wholesale margin from the grower and then a retail margin. And when you combine those together, it becomes a very healthy business.
I think it's been mammoth leaps forward, but it hasn't been without its challenges over that 5.5 years.
One of the objectives of legalization, meanwhile, was to take the cannabis industry out of the hands of the criminals. The man in charge of the Cannabis Control Act says they're meeting that goal.
We're estimating that we're at about 81% of the market is legal today. So that's, from a standing start 5.5 years ago to go from 0 to 81% today as our best estimate. That's a dramatic leap forward in terms of capturing the illegal market.
In fact, the industry is so competitive that illegal dealers are now taking extreme measures to stay in business.
We hear reports of people coming out of the illicit market, buying legal product and going back to the illicit market with that product.
Back at Argentia Gold, meanwhile, these are tough times, made even more challenging when a recent deal to sell the building collapsed at the 11th hour.
We're in panic mode, really, and a financial bind. When you're down, no matter how great of a company you work for, when you're $20 million down, it's hard to come back to that.
So what's to become of this very large, very expensive, and now very quiet cannabis factory? Well, the answer to that question is rolled up in a big pile of uncertainty. Terry Roberts, CBC News, Argentia.